My name is Tanya Curry, and this is this week's Acumen Media Report. It's entitled, South Africa's Jerry Springer Show. Jerry Springer died this week. When I was a kid, I loved his show. The outrageous characters, his jaw-dropping questions, the on-stage and off-stage heckling, sometimes even real fights appeared on stage. He would always end his show with a bit of sense and these words: take care of yourself and each other.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Great TV for its time. I wonder what South Africa's Jerry Springer Show would look like today. It's time to get the nails against the blackboard and scratch the surface with Acumen Media. In this week's show, we have the man who says he would arrest Putin, men who stole a whole country and got away with it, black magic at the root of the mutilation of 2 toddlers aged 5 and 6. You also get to meet the man behind Project Ostrich. He knows why a country cannot keep its lights on, but won't tell us the name of the mafia heads. This and many more in today's bumper edition of the South African version of the Jerry Springer Show, with your host, Tanya Curry. That's how the act would read, and this one is not staged. Well, some bits are, but you know what I mean. Let's begin with how the South African flag fell on Ramaphosa's head during a visit to Finland. Finland. Wow. Really? You do get around, Cupcake. Ramatras was giving his monotone speech to the Finnish as a flagpole behind him fell over and almost knocked him off the podium. The president can be heard saying, "Whoopsie," as someone behind him scrambles to catch the flag. Whoopsie indeed. Another glaring sign of our spiraling demise was that the press put a wreath on O.R. Tambo's tombstone with much pomp and circumstance. How apt. It feels like the ANC died and the president should be toppled from his podium. A fitting entrance to this week's SA Jerry Springer Show. Everyone meet Alan Winde. Winder is pronounced windy, a bit like the flag flying moment, and it rhymes with whoopsie, so that's fitting. Winde declared that should Putin come to the windy Western Cape, he would be sure to arrest the man. Putin in jail. Get it? Putin in jail. Only Western Cape then, Windy Poop. Joburg is fine then, is it? Your statement doesn't make any sense. A bit like the president's other whoopsie this week when he said that we left the ICC and then retracted to say we are still a signatory to the ICC. The ICC is an international body that has issued an arrest warrant for Putin. So when we say we are still a signatory, that means we're still part of it. Just new words to confuse the audience. Time for an interjection to all that's been said on stage. Let's surrender the mic to Mother Russia. She has so much on us that we simply cannot abide with this international law. We should, but we will be proper toast if that happens. Look, we're going to get burnt regardless, but rather the Yanks than Putin. It is typical Jerry Springer that this particular country, South Africa, is center stage for more drama than is already on the lineup of the show. So Wendy, please be quiet. Why? Because you can't even arrest a Cape Flats gangster, let alone a warlord. Putin has threatened war on any country that arrests him. So Mr. President and Wendy, step away from yet another whoopsie and watch for falling flags. Jerry, Jerry. Last week in Casual Conversation, we spoke about the man who stole a whole country, the men who stole a whole country. Sadly, they couldn't be here for today's show. A set of rich thugs that dropped their own type of bombs on South Africa by looting it until it was scentless. Take a look at these guys, a bloated bunch of family members going by the name of Gupta. They took control of a different president, Zuma, and bankrupted one of the most lucrative countries on earth. Obviously, when the law finally took its course, there was a need for a completely different TV show, and that was called the State Capture Inquiry, led by the enigmatic Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. So, off these guys run to Dubai, and when SA finally finds them, whoopsie, we're told that the head of the UAE refuses to extradite these Gupta gangsters for court proceedings. They brought too much money back to UAE, you see. Does money buy everything? Even freedom for the wicked? Civil society, having had enough of the skullduggery, pulled into action and protested outside the Emirates embassy. Katrada Foundation and Outer both fighting the same good fight. Why aren't we standing with them? Why are we allowing this to happen? There has to be a consequence for this inaction, a pretty big one. So very Jerry Springer. In true Springer style, the head of Emirates arrived in South Africa and didn't bother to go through our airport system. The Guptas did that too, but instead he went straight to a red carpet airstrip, so bin Zayed is living it up on our devastation. The audience is getting restless, but we're so not done. Next is the sickening story, one which is difficult to write, let alone talk about, not even imagine. 3 toddlers were taken by elders, close family friends, perhaps even family members. There were 5 and 6-year-olds. One of the little boys escaped, but the 2 remaining toddlers were chopped up, mutilated for body parts that were in turn sold for black magic. The remaining body parts that couldn't be sold were shoved in black bin liners and given to other children to throw away. One of the perpetrators was considered a granny to the kids. This is too sick, even for the Jerry Springer Show. There is a special place in hell for these people, a developing and disgusting story that we will learn more about in coming weeks, of how this 50-year-old woman and her partner, and how one of the parents' cars is filled with the blood of the children. I can't write about this anymore. Forgive me. #our boys. Yet another horror story up next. A school feeding scheme stopped, and they just didn't distribute meals to our children due to fraud and corruption. How are the fraudsters different to the Our Boys killers? A piece of paper is all that divides them. Too much for this audience. Let's change the tone, as I'm sure you're feeling a little lightheaded like me. Let me introduce you to Andre de Ruyter, the guy who tried to spill the beans on Eskom's Mafia estate. He attended Scopa this week. Scopa is Parliament Light, for those of you who don't know. The questions from the audience didn't stop. They all had the same question: who is behind this corruption?
I'll start with the question of the minister that was not mentioned in your report. And you were quoted as saying, a certain minister said, in order to pursue the greater good, you have to enable some of the people to eat a little bit. Can you please share with us who is exactly this minister you are referring to?
Who is the minister or senior politician that you keep referring to, de Ruyter? Each time it was asked, and it was asked many times, de Ruyter declined to give any information. I'm not sure why he even came to the show, to be honest. He just wanted to be seen on stage, right? He said the Hawks and others had the names, but we are not amongst the privileged. We, the 60 million, don't get that kind of information on the Jerry Springer Show. What we did learn is that there was a 50 million rand investigative unit called Project Ostrich that de Ruyter appointed to find these scallums. Yes, Project Ostrich. I don't make these things up. I just read the news so you don't have to. Now that is far more like the Jerry Springer Show, isn't it? Acumen the pedo was found guilty of 740 charges, all concluding that he is a child predator, and he is the strongest argument to bring back the death penalty. Okay, let's wrap this up. Zilla tweeted that in order to be woke in the LBGTI+ community, you need to be trans. No, I'm not making it up. And yes, she used the word woke, past participle of wake. Between her, Wendy, Jumping John, and Ketang Palazzi, who is back for a chain again this week, by the way, we're truly stuck in an endless Jerry loop. A dead Trani man was caught with a stolen car. You see, there's a Thabo Bester everywhere. Speaking of last week's guest, Bester's story shifted focus to the body in Cell 35, Katlego. He allegedly died from short breath, whatever that is. I'm sure we were told that there was a large contusion to his head. The story doesn't add up. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. Something is rotten in the state of Finland. Oh, I mean Denmark. It is Denmark, isn't it? In closing, on the home front, avian flu killed 120,000 chickens this week and Distel delisted. If you play Scrabble, you'll see that Distel also makes the word delist. Ah, okay, that's not funny at all. It was Freedom Day. Are we free? What does free look like? Bloated, overfed and rich? For others, it may look like the prime energy drink that's a tenth of the cost as local retailers bring the drink's price down from $400 to $40. Obviously, you're all gonna buy it because it was $400. So clever. Not you, man. The marketers. Sorry. That was an unnecessary punch, but it is true, and this is the Jerry Show. Across the world, givers are in Sudan, helping South Africans scramble out of a war zone. Tucker Carlson was fired, Dame Edna passed away, and if you haven't been following the Wrexham FC story, you should. It brings so much joy. I'm Tanya Curry. Thank you for scratching the surface with me. Take care of yourselves and each other. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer.